Philip K. Dick, often known as PKD, was more than just a science fiction writer. He was a visionary, a philosopher disguised as a storyteller whose life and work intertwined in a whimsical way. Blade Runner, which is a movie based on his iconic novel, Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep, perfectly exemplifies his ability to translate profound philosophical questions about reality, consciousness, and humanity into interesting narratives. Welcome to More Than a Label. This video explores the life and prophetic visions of Philip K. Dick. We also talk about St. Sophia and some Gnostic concepts, so make sure to watch the whole video. Born in 1928, Dick's life was marked by a series of formative events that would later shape his worldview. The loss of his twin sister in infancy instilled a lifelong fascination with themes of identity, loss, and the nature of reality. Raised in a Quaker household, he encountered pacifism and introspection, values that coexisted with a rebellious streak that manifested in his unconventional lifestyle choices. Despite attending Berkeley High School, Dick's formal education was cut short when he left the University of California, Berkeley, after a year. This decision, seemingly inconsequential at the time, propelled him towards a writing career in the often underestimated genre of science fiction. This genre resonated deeply with his inquisitive mind, allowing him to explore profound questions about existence through fantastical narratives. However, Dick's life was far from idyllic. Financial struggles were a constant companion, forcing him to write under pen names and churn out stories at an astonishing pace. This pressure, coupled with multiple failed marriages and a period of heavy drug use, fueled a sense of delusionment and paranoia that permeated his work. Yet, amidst the personal turmoil, Dick's genius blossomed. His stories transcended the boundaries of genre, becoming philosophical inquiries disguised as thrilling narratives. He created worlds where androids mirrored the complexities of human identity, and alternate realities challenged the very fabric of existence. Novels like Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep and The Man in the High Castle forced readers to confront uncomfortable truths about themselves and the world around them. However, Dick's life was not solely defined by his struggles and literary achievements. He was also a figure of controversy, known for his outspoken views and unconventional lifestyle. His rebel spirit manifested in his exploration of Gnosticism, an ancient religious philosophy that challenged established power structures and offered alternative perspectives on reality. This fascination with Gnosticism, fueled by his own mystical experiences, further fueled his questioning of reality and the nature of existence. Dick's drug use, while undoubtedly a source of personal struggles, remains a topic of complex debate. Some argue that it fueled his creativity, allowing him to tap into unconventional states of consciousness and generate his prolific output. Others point to the detrimental impact it had on his health and personal life. Regardless of the perspective, it remains an undeniable factor in shaping his life and work. Philip K. Dick was a complex and multifaceted individual. He was a visionary storyteller, a philosophical rebel, a man grappling with profound questions about existence. Philip K. Dick has transcended the realm of science fiction to become a cultural icon. His work has become synonymous with questioning the very fabric of reality. His novels and stories paint a world where lines blur between the real and the simulated, where identity is fluid and sinister forces manipulate our perception. This fascination with the illusory nature of existence propelled him to cult status, particularly in the final decade of his life. His influence extended beyond genre enthusiasts, captivating Hollywood and inspiring films like Blade Runner, Total Recall, and A Scanner Darkly. His ideas resonated with a generation grappling with conspiracy theories, the Vietnam War, and the rise of technology. Beyond the sci-fi master, PKD was a prolific writer, churning out novels at an astonishing pace, fueled by amphetamines and a relentless drive. His personal struggles, marked by drug use and mental health challenges, added another layer of complexity to his life and work. Dick experienced a pivotal event in February 1974 that continues to baffle and intrigue to this day. He described it as a pink laser beam flooding his mind with arcane knowledge, forever altering his worldview. This experience, which he referred to as 2374 for its concentrated period in February and March, sparked a multitude of interpretations. For some, it was a mere figment of a troubled mind, perhaps fueled by his admitted struggles with amphetamines and mental health. Others attributed it to a neurological phenomenon like temporal lobe epilepsy, seeking a scientific explanation for the seemingly fantastical event. However, dismissing the experience solely as delusion ignores the intriguing aspects that defy easy categorization. Dick, despite his openness to a neurological explanation, also reported the beam diagnosing his son's previously undetected illness and conveying information in unknown languages. These details challenge a purely rational interpretation, adding an undeniable layer of mystery to the event. Furthermore, Dick's subsequent actions suggest a genuine conviction in the reality of his experience. He not only incorporated it into his later writings, but also meticulously documented his thoughts and interpretations in a massive personal project known as the Exegesis. This dedication, bordering on obsession, indicates that 2374 was far more than just a fleeting hallucination for Philip K. Dick. He once said, "I seem to be living in my own novels more and more. I can't figure out why. Am I losing touch with reality? Or is reality actually sliding toward a Phil Dickian type of atmosphere? And if the latter, then for God's sake, why? Am I responsible? How could I be responsible? Isn't that solipsism? It's too much for me." Drawing inspiration from these experiences, Dick delved into Gnosticism. He believed that the material world was corrupted and controlled by an evil demiurge, while the true reality, the pleroma, existed beyond our reach. This Gnostic influence is evident in his Exegesis, a complex document where he attempts to interpret his visions and articulate his newfound understanding of the cosmos. One of the key concepts in Dick's Exegesis is the figure of Sophia, a feminine aspect of the divine associated with wisdom and creativity. He believed that Sophia, trapped within the material world, was seeking to awaken humanity from its slumber and guide it towards the pleroma, which is absolute reality. Philip K. Dick writes in his Exegesis, "It is Gnosticism and Gnosticism alone which denies the patriarchal Jewish Christian religion and enshrines Sophia as the creator goddess. My experience of the lady, it is exactly Gnostic. In my revelations, all roads and aspects lead to her. This is Gnosticism. I've seen her, heard her, in many guises, and finally the name Saint Sophia. Gnostic revelation has broken through into my head in the modern world. Saint Sophia is going to be born again. She was not acceptable before." He also writes, "When Saint Sophia again is incarnated, I imagine that another syzygy will be formed, and again it will be correct to think of it as he, she, rather than as with the unincarnated spirit." Dick's interpretations were often cryptic and open to various interpretations. Some scholars view his exegesis as a product of mental illness exacerbated by drug use, while others see it as a genuine attempt to grapple with his mystical experiences and their broader philosophical implications. The Exegesis is a sprawling, unfinished document where Dick attempts to decipher his experiences, drawing from diverse sources like Gnosticism, Jungian psychology, and science fiction. He weaves a complex tapestry of personal reflections, philosophical inquiries, and interpretations of his visions. It serves as a testament to his relentless pursuit of understanding these encounters. Valis, published in 1982, fictionalizes Dick's experiences. The protagonist, Phil, receives messages through a pink laser beam he believes to be an alien communication system named Valis, vast, active, living intelligence system. Valis guides Phil towards comprehending the nature of reality and the reincarnation of St. Sophia in our age. For those seeking gnosis, knowledge, Valis represents a transpersonal entity or higher intelligence that bridges the gap between the material world and a deeper reality. It symbolizes the potential for assessing hidden knowledge and achieving a profound understanding of oneself and the universe. The mystical meaning in Dick's writings resonates with individuals seeking similar truths. He constantly challenges readers to question their perceived reality, search for meaning, and consider the possibility of hidden dimensions. These themes act as an Ariadne's thread, guiding those on their own journeys of exploration through the labyrinth of mystical knowledge. Certain people connect with Dick's work because they share a common yearning for deeper understanding. Regardless of interpretation, one thing remains clear. Philip K. Dick was a man haunted by questions. His life, marked by personal struggles and profound visions, fueled his literary genius and shaped his prophetic voice. Through his stories and philosophical explorations, he challenged readers to confront the complexities of existence, question the nature of reality, and search for meaning in a world that often feels like a perplexing illusion. Even though Dick died in 1982, his legacy continues to inspire and provoke. His works have been translated into numerous languages, adapted into critically acclaimed films, and continue to resonate with readers across generations. In a world increasingly shaped by technological advancements and existential anxieties, Philip K. Dick's voice remains a potent reminder that most profound questions often lie hidden within the seemingly ordinary, waiting to be unearthed by those brave enough to ask. Thank you for joining us on this exploration of Philip K. Dick's life and visionary mind. We've only scratched the surface of his complex and fascinating world. If you're curious to delve deeper, here are some suggestions. Read his novels. Start with his short stories. They're very interesting. Explore his Exegesis. This challenging but rewarding document offers a glimpse into Dick's mystical writings. Research Gnosticism to gain the same gnosis that influenced Dick's worldview and the concept of Sophia, and watch films based on his work. Blade Runner, Total Recall, and A Scanner Darkly are a few examples. Remember, Philip K. Dick's work is open to interpretation and invites individual exploration. Don't be afraid to ask questions, challenge assumptions, and forge your own path through the labyrinth of his ideas. We encourage you to share your thoughts and insights in the comments below. What resonated with you most about Philip K. Dick? What questions do you still have? Let's continue the conversation. Subscribe to the channel for future updates.